Welcome, chicks and dudes, to Calling It Like It Is. Post Warriors game update. Not update. Just talking about the Warriors game. What am I talking about? This is a perfect example of when you hear that a player is injury prone. Usually that just means that they don't know how to fall. And there can be unlucky, just like throughout the whole player's career. It's just been horribly unlucky. It's just there can be just random unlucky stuff. But mostly it's people in every sport not knowing how to fall. And if you've ever skateboarded or skied or snowboarded, really played any sport, but really the board sports especially, you know the people that always have a broken arm or can't be skating because the ankle is always twisted way too bad or way too sprained ankle. They have a sprained ankle all the time. And then, like, not to talk myself up or anything, but I've always been a great faller. I can always fall really well. When I was a kid, skateboarding and snowboarding, I've never broken a bone, and I've fallen hard many times. And it's all split decision. It's just, knowing that, if I land here, this is going to be bad. If I can just move my body a millimeter, I'll be okay. Just little stuff like that. And of course, the reason I'm talking about this is because Curry is a little injury prone. And not just the ankle. His injury tonight was just a perfect example of not knowing how to fall. I mean, it wasn't some sort of crazy, super fast running towards the hoop and crashed into, it was that should never have happened. He just went up for a layup at half speed, quarter speed, got knocked into, and just fell straight down onto his tailbone. I mean, you could hear it reverberate throughout the stadium. He just fell straight down onto his tailbone. So this is just a big, giant question mark right now. The whole season is he okay, or is it bad? Because the tailbone is like your ribs, and you can take a shot to the ribs and it can be super sore and bad, but in a couple weeks, a week, you can be fine. Or even if you didn't break a rib, it can be 6 months and you're not playing any professional sports. And the tailbone it's just one of those, if you've ever had a tailbone injury, it sucks. And it usually comes from, falling on a hard surface. And man, he just fell straight out of the air, right onto his ass, ka-thump. And the entire Warriors season rests on the health of Curry's ass. And it fucking irks me too. I was talking about it last night, of just how I wasn't totally angry with the decision to sit Curry the other night, because it was the second game of a back-to-back. even though they've got to win every game that they can possibly win right now, because they do not want to be in the play-in game. They need to secure a playoff series. They need to secure one of the top 6 spots. And they're in the 6th spot right now by a game and a half over the Clippers and the Timberwolves. They need to stay there. So every game is super important. But the reason that I wasn't, or the reason that I agreed with resting him, because second game back-to-back of a back-to-back, and it just happens every single year. If you follow the Warriors, if you've been a Warriors fan your entire life, you know. You just know every single year around this time in the 60s, in like the, game number 58 to 65, somewhere around there, or 50 to 65, somewhere around there, Steph Curry gets injured and he has to sit out 15 games or something like that. It's happened a lot. Just go through his stats for his career. It happens a lot. Almost every single year since he was out for the entire season with the broken finger. And so I'm just for injury prone. Like, Curry's ankle, I wouldn't even call that his biggest. Well, no, I'm just thinking off the cuff here. Yeah, no, Curry is injury prone. He's injury prone because you've got the ankle. Everyone knows about the ankle. And especially if it gets fatigued and he's a little tired, that thing just, he does a crossover and has to plant all his weight on that right ankle, and whoop, it just flips over. And he fucking turns his ankle a lot. And let's see. Then he missed an entire year because he broke his finger in the 5th game of the season on some stupid play. That's just, I don't consider that one unlucky because it was a fall as well. Like, you got to know, I can't land with all the pressure on my hand or my wrist right here. I'm going to have to tuck in my arm, take it on the shoulder or something like that. But no, he all his force went into his fingers and he broke a finger out the whole year. Then I think it was just more ankle injuries, stuff like that. And then this one tonight, just classic. What is it? The 63rd or 66th game of the season, 67th game of the season, something like that. And with 3 minutes left in the third quarter, Curry's having a very decent game. 50% from 3, but he only shot it 4 times, so just 2 for 4 from 3. But he had 17 points. It was only the third quarter. Probably would have ended close to 30 points and had like 5 threes. Shooting a really, really nice percentage overall for all field goals. And then he just comes straight down on his ass and just, I mean, obviously it hurts. And I mean, because it looks worse than it is, hopefully. It looked worse than it is, hopefully. Because, when I say I'm a pretty good faller, that means that I have fallen a lot. But like I said, I've never broken a bone, but I have fallen on my tailbone. I believe it was not on a hard surface per se. I think it was, I clipped an edge snowboarding and just immediately fell over and right onto your ass, and there's no time to react or anything. If you've ever been snowboarding and you catch an edge, whoop, you're down immediately. And yeah, it hurts really bad and it stays with you. But I had, snowboarding pants on, which is, padded, super padded, and I landed in snow. So, and it hurts really bad. So I can only imagine falling 3 feet out of the air onto, I don't know what it is on the Woes scale, but a hardwood NBA floor has to be pretty hard. So it's just I'll talk about the game in a bit here, but just really need to emphasize that everything. I mean, the Warriors did a lot of stuff great tonight, but it obviously doesn't mean a fucking thing if Curry's done for the season, obviously. And their season's over as if they don't, if they have to play in one of the play-in games as well. Maybe not. I mean, they obviously could get a play-in game, hopefully at least get the 7th or 8th seed where they can at least get 2 chances to win one game. And then they can make it to the actual playoffs. But yeah, so everything rests on Curry's ass. The Warriors did play great, though. They played great. Shot a lot of threes at a 40% clip. And I've been talking this dude up now for a few pods, but Quinton Post, the Warriors don't have size. That's one thing lacking for the Warriors. No size. Hello? You have a rookie 7-footer who shoots 3-pointers at an insane clip. Well, it's not a secret anymore. The Warriors know that now. I think the league is starting to realize that now as well. He's playing over 20 minutes a game every game now. He just, as I was saying yesterday, has a supernatural looking shot. He looks great coming out of his hand. It's a really, really nice looking shot. And the percentage is fantastic. Shooting at like 42%. Tonight he was 6 for 9 from three-point land. 6 for 9. I mean, that's in that. If Curry shot 6 for 9, we'd be not going crazy, but we wouldn't be going crazy at all. Actually, it would be like, well, just look at another good night for Curry. God, that guy's just insane, best shooter of all time. But when Post does it, it's a little more headline grabbing because he's a rookie and no one really realizes that he's 7 feet tall. And so he gives you 6 threes tonight. Had, I think, the key block of the game. People are going to say that Jimmy Butler's block at the end there was the key block of the game. But no, it wasn't. The Warriors were up by 3. It was a great block, absolutely, and it was a great play and a super duper winning play by Butler. But it wasn't as crucial as Quinton Post's block earlier. Why? Well, very simple. Time and score. The Warriors were up by 3. There was less than 24 seconds left. Raptors had the ball. I forget who was driving to the hole, but whoever was driving to the hoop had a layup in his sights, and Butler blocked it. But there was less than 24 seconds on the clock, and the Warriors were up by 3. So if he makes it, the Warriors are up by 1, and the Raptors have to foul. Now, of course, then we get into the free throw game, and you got to make your free throw. But I'm just saying it wasn't like it wasn't that the Warriors were up by 1 and it would have put the Raptors in the lead or something like that, or tied the game. No. Warriors still would have been up and had the ball with less than 24 seconds on the clock. But still, it was an insanely great defensive play. And as a unit, as an entire unit, the Warriors, this was a great team win, especially after Curry went out. It was, okay, let's see what we got. I'm still waiting for the Butler game because it hasn't happened yet. The Butler game is just an aggregate of him having gone to the Warriors and them only having lost 2 games since he's gone to the Warriors. But he himself has not had that's why you pay a guy $50 million a year. He hasn't had one of those games yet. He hasn't scored over 30 points yet. And tonight he sucked offensively, just flat out sucked. Horrible fourth quarter offensively. Should have almost lost the game because of which is, the opposite of what you think of with Jimmy Butler is, okay, Butler, bring us home. Fourth quarter guy, get to the line, get us some easy layups, give it the middies, give us the mid-range game, baby. Give me some high percentage shots. Let's get points on the board. Let's win this game. No, he's this brick house. Brick, not getting to the free throw line. But the Warriors as a whole in the fourth quarter just clamped down defensively, had key plays like the post block, the Draymond Green missed 3, but then ran back down and tipped the ball back to get the steal, the Jimmy Butler block, and the Warriors as a whole, it just every single person defense. Moses Moody only had 2 points on the night, I think, but great defense. And Podziemski plays great hustle defense. I mean, he's not a big guy, and he's going to get the same criticism that all the Warriors players get, which is, no, it's not enough size. But, I'll tell you who doesn't have size. Like someone like Patrick Beverley doesn't have size. He's one of the best defenders of all time. You don't need to have size, especially if you're a fucking shooting guard with like Podziemski is. He doesn't need to be 6'9". He just needs to have hustle. And he does. And when he has confidence in his shooting, which apparently Jimmy Butler has given just through actually like talking to him, they've like become like at least, locker room buddies. He's been much more confident after Butler has gotten there, and he's shooting the ball with much more confidence and just playing with more confidence, and you can see it. It's super obvious. He's a really, really good player if he plays with confidence, Podziemski. And Post, Post, like I said yesterday, defensively, put Post at the rim and just let him stay there at the rim and block shots. He's 7 feet tall. Perfect. And then offensively, put him at the 3-point line. And the center for the other team is going to have to come out and guard him. He's going to have to come out and guard him. Because it's not like Quinton Post is shooting 40% from the 3-point line, but he's only shooting like 1 3-pointer a game. And so it's one of those stats that you see, he shoots it at 42%. Yeah, but look at the other stat. He only shoots it 1.5 times per game. So whoop-de-doo, it doesn't really matter. No. Post shoots it now. It's got to be like close to 5.5 times a game. He's a 3-point shooter that's shooting it well over 40%. If you've got a 7-footer that shoots the ball well over 40% on like 5-6 threes a game, or attempts a game, you should be in the playoffs every year just on that alone. So, let's see. Draymond Green had a very good defensive game, a very good first half. And I saw his stats in the first half. It was like 6 for 9 from 3-point land, and 18 points, something like that. And then I think he's 4 for 9. 4 for 9 from 3-point land. And then in the second half, I think he only made one other three. He shot 15 3-pointers tonight. Draymond Green shot 15 3-point shots. I think he shot more 3-pointers than Jimmy Butler shot just in general. Again, I'm waiting for the Butler offensive game, okay? You're making $50 million a year. Give me 30 points just one time. Obviously, I can't argue too much if the Warriors are winning, okay? I don't care. It's like when Jason Hayward got signed with the Chicago Cubs, when he was with the Atlanta Braves for the first 7 years, 27 years old, signed like that 7-year, $180 million contract. It was just ridiculous. But, he's 27 years old, had just seemed like the sky was the limit, and just sucked. Played the whole season, no injuries or anything like that. It was not like an Anthony Rendon. Just sucked. Like, this guy's actually not good. He can't really hit a baseball with any sort of consistency at all. And we're on the hook for 7 more years for $180 million. But guess what? If I'm a Cubs fan, I don't give a fuck. Because guess what happened that year? They won the World Series. And supposedly, Jason Hayward was really, really good in the locker room, and everyone played better because of it. Well, that's what everyone said, at least. And you know what? If the goal of your team is to win a championship, which if I'm coaching a team or owning a team, that would be my goal, is to win a championship every year. That would be the goal. Then, hey, if you're not giving me giant output, at least the team in general should be winning. And that's what's happening with Butler. If you look up his stats since he's been with them, I mean it's not horrible, but it's just been very routine every single game. It's just been very offensively, I'm talking. It's just been very 19 points a game, 7, 8 assists, 6, 7 rebounds. I'm just waiting. I just want to see that he's still got it in him. Like, there we go. Okay, 43 points, and he took it over for 16 points in the fourth quarter. They were down by 10. Butler took over. We win the game. Just give me I just haven't seen a Butler game yet. I've seen Butler plays, and definitely that's why we got, yes, Butler is awesome for a play or two here and there, but not for a game yet. And tonight, the Warriors easily could have lost, especially Curry is out. Third quarter, the game's tied. Come on, Butler. Fourth quarter Butler, bring it home, buddy. Win this game for us. Well, we did win the game, but not because of anything that Butler did offensively, at least. So we easily could have lost that game, but we didn't. Or they keep saying we. I don't have any ownership stock in the Warriors, and I've never played for them, so I shouldn't say we. They won. So that's what matters. But they won't obviously win or make any sort of an impact in the playoffs at all if they don't have a healthy Steph Curry. And what kind of injury would you rather have? Let's go down that list real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. Would I rather have him twist an ankle? You know, his ankle that always twists, his bad ankle. No, I would not rather have that. Would I rather have him get a facial injury where he has to, where he can play? He could even play the next day, but he'd have to wear a mask. No. I don't want my shooters having to wear a mask. Don't like that at all. So no, I don't want that. Obviously, no major injuries like broken legs or ACLs or Achilles or anything like that. Duh. So as far as injuries go, yeah, he didn't pull a muscle. There's no muscle pulling. There's no spraining of anything. There's no wrist sprain. There's no elbow. Like, there's nothing with his shooting hand or arm. So I guess as far as injuries go, it's about as good as you can get. But let's knock on some wood for that, actually. Okay, because last I heard, he was getting an MRI, and who knows? I believe the tailbone is cartilage, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It could start with some bone at the base, and the tip is just cartilage. I don't know. So hopefully the MRI comes back, and there's no, fracture of any sort near his tailbone area. And it's just a bruised tailbone. And, I mean, it was good news. I heard Kerr say after the game that Curry wanted to come back in and play because it was a tie game in the fourth quarter. Curry wanted to come back in, but they decided against it. The team decided against it. So, but that doesn't really mean anything because, as I'm sure anyone who's ever been injured knows, when the injury just happens, you can still play on it, like a twisted ankle, something like that, like a twisted ankle. But the day after, nope. No, you can't. So it's really gonna, there'll be no new information tonight unless the MRI comes back with a fracture or something like that. But it's just going to be pain tolerance. So we won't know anything until tomorrow. If he plays in the next game, that's all I'll need to know for how good he feels. If he's out, I'll be a little worried. But if he's available and like, oh yeah, I can go for the next game, then he'll be fine. It just sucks that this always seems to happen every year around this time. Something happens to Curry. But they won. Very exciting game. One of those had to have it games as well, because you're playing the fucking Raptors, for God's sake. You can't lose this game. And they didn't. So let's see real quick. Barring a non-fractured tailbone, so just barring pain tolerance and how bad it got bruised or whatever, assuming that Curry is gonna be okay, their next game is Saturday against the Hawks. There's not a chance I would play him for that. That should be a, hey, Butler and company, go win that fucking game for us. Then the game after that is not until Tuesday the 25th against the Heat. I wouldn't play him for that game either. I would say the same thing. I'd say Butler, Green, get your fucking asses out there and win us this game. And then their next game isn't until Friday. Yeah. Friday, March 28th. March 28th against the Pelicans. If Curry's playing in that game, everything should be okay. If Curry's not playing in that game a week from tomorrow, I'll be a little concerned. Because, and if the Warriors were, 7.5 games clear of the play-in games, and were guaranteed a playoff spot, I wouldn't play Curry maybe until the last 3 games of the regular season, just to get him warmed up for the playoffs. Seriously, because there's just no point. If you're guaranteed a playoff spot, unless you're fighting for the number 1 overall seed, it doesn't fucking really matter. It really doesn't. But they're not guaranteed a playoff spot. So you got to have Curry back. But I would definitely sit him for the Hawks, this upcoming Hawks game, and then the Heat after that. And then hopefully he can be back for the Pelicans. And that'll be a good little test for him. Zion Williamson is back for the Pelicans, and the Pelicans play pretty damn good basketball when he plays and actually wants to give a fuck and earn his fucking, I think it's only $40 million a year. But yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, buttons, click them. Bye.